It has been 10 years since we first set out on Florence to sail around the world, and this year, to celebrate that, we are attempting to sail to 10 new countries. To do that, we have sailed to the Baltic.
So far, we've visited Germany and Denmark. This time, we'll have to deal with Russian GPS interference as we sail through Hel to Poland and explore the city of Gdansk. And some very strange goings on.
Sailing to the eastern Baltic, we knew we would come close to Russian waters. And due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, we were on heightened alert for anything suspicious. We had also read reports of Russia jamming or interfering with the GPS signal in this part of the Baltic.
There's been very light winds through the night and also this morning, so we're struggling to make progress to get there in daylight, but we can now see the coastline of Poland. And there's also a lot more shipping and some very strange goings on. Some really big ships which are not showing up on AIS. Luckily with our chart plotter we can overlay the radar, and you can also select a target, so if a vessel is approaching that you can visibly see, or you can see on the radar, you can click on it and it will also tell you the closest point of approach, just like AIS does. So got a few that I'm having to keep an eye on. We're not very far away from Russian waters. I think it's only about 60 miles to Kaliningrad, which is bordering with Poland. AIS stands for Automatic Identification System. Usually all commercial shipping and a lot of private vessels transmit their position, heading and speed via AIS to help avoid collisions at sea. When a large Baltic ferry passed us without an AIS transmission, we knew something was up.
Now that is weird. Just looking at the chart plotter, there appear to be a group of ships all on top of each other, which I'm sure isn't true. So I don't know if that is an indication of GPS spoofing going on to make them all seem in the same place, but it does mean that we can't trust the AIS here. So we have to keep an eye on the radar and using our eyes as normal instead. Not a problem during daylight, but maybe a bit more of a problem at night or in fog. Now that group of ships all on top of each other have moved, they're now over the land, so that's definitely not right. Yeah, that one's doing 50.8 knots. And its AIS says at anchor, so something is definitely going on wrong with that. There they all are, 14 of them all on one spot. So we've seen a few ships close to us that don't appear to be transmitting on AIS, and I think that explains it. I think their GPS position is being spoofed, and so their AIS position is showing up as somewhere a long way away from us, and it's only when you zoom right out or do a search for an AIS target further away on the chart that you find them, because they're not where they actually were, which was next to us. Well, just have to keep our eyes open.
Thankfully, at this point, our position was correct via the GPS. As we're so close to the coast of Poland, we can overlay the radar image on the chart and check that the two line up to confirm our position. Being in sight of land and having the radar like this means we're not too worried about losing our GPS position should that happen.
We're quite close to the coast of Poland now. We're just sailing along the Hel Peninsula, which encloses Puck Bay. And it's a beautiful beach. It's been going on for absolutely miles. Gorgeous white sand beach. Not sure whether we're just going to hook around the end of this peninsula and stop for the night, or whether we're going to go on to Gdansk yet to download the latest weather and see what Amy wants to do when she gets up. She's having a bit of a snooze at the moment, so we're still kind of recovering from sailing through the night because it's quite tiring.
Feels so good to be sailing into Poland. I've wanted to come here for a very long time. My best friend from work before we left to sail around the world is from Poland, and she was always telling me how amazing the country is and how there's so much more to see than what most people see, which is just the capital city. And there are tons of spectacular beaches and forests and even a lake district. So it feels really nice to be sailing in here past this spectacular beach.
Right, traveller centralised. Ready to drive? Okay, I think we're high enough, we don't need the preventer again on that side.
Rounding the end of the peninsula, we could see a lot more wind on the water ahead. And since we were only going to be sailing a short distance upwind to the marina, rather than reef the mainsail, we decided to drop it and beat up with just the staysail. Florence can't point quite as high into the wind without the mainsail, and it's a little slower, but for the short distance, it doesn't matter too much.
Pretty breezy round here.
Hel Marina. This is the sailing vessel Florence, over. Hel Marina. It's Florence, over.
We had read that you're supposed to call all ports before entering here in Poland, but we didn't get a response, so we decided to head in and take a look anyway.
There were plenty of berths to choose from, and the friendly harbour master came straight over once we'd tied up to take payment and give us the code to the shower block. After a couple of days at sea, we are keen to set foot in Poland and explore.
Fried herring seems to be the thing to try here. It's tasty, that's why there's a queue at the food truck, but the guy was so kind. It's cash only, and of course we've only literally arrived about 5 minutes ago, so we don't have any cash yet. He said, pay me later. So that is very generous and very trusting and very kind of him. Well, don't normally get cash out these days because everything's card. It used to be the way that as soon as we arrived in the country we'd go and get cash, SIM card for the phone and check in, but because it's all part of Europe, part of Schengen, we don't have to check in. Normally we just use a credit card, so we don't need cash and our phones just work. But yeah, nice to have some foreign currency. Now we can go and pay for that tasty herring.
So my friend B gave us a list of food to look out for and try, and apparently this area is famous for go fry, which are waffles topped with different toppings. So I've got fruit and cream, and Matt's gone surprisingly for ice cream. But we've just spent the last, I think, 5 minutes whilst the lady was preparing them, practicing how to say thank you, and I still don't think we've got it right.
Go on, try.
Dziękuję, I think.
It's a waffle with ice cream. Any excuse to have ice cream, to be honest. It's beautiful walking through the woods. We were chatting with one of the vendors of smoked fish stall, and he had pictures on his phone of wild boar coming up, begging for smoked fish, and also moose wandering about the woods when he turned up first thing in the morning. So yeah. I think there's a lot that you don't see hidden in these woods.
Especially early morning when it's quiet.
sea.
The Hel Peninsula is 34 kilometres long and is one gigantic sand beach backed by pine forest. Summer temperatures of 20 to 25 degrees centigrade and an often present sea breeze make this peninsula more heaven than hell and a popular destination in Poland.
I think they're wild boar trotters. It was just a brief stop in Hel for us. After one night, the wind was fair for Gdansk, so we headed out of the marina and hoisted sails once more.
But what a glorious day. We're not going far today though, we're just sailing 12 miles across Puck Bay from the Hel Peninsula there to Gdansk, where it's 12 miles to the start of the port, and then we've got about another 4 miles to go to take Florence right into the centre of Gdansk, up the canals, and there's a marina we should be able to stop up there.
This area of Puck Bay and around Gdansk is one of two main sailing areas in Poland. And you can see why it's popular, because there's such a big sailing area and it's flat water, it's very sheltered, but still decent wind because the surrounding land is fairly flat. And there's quite a few different places that you can either pull into a marina or anchor. You can also take the boat, and what we were hoping to do was go right up into the head of Puck Bay, and that's supposed to be a fantastic place for wing foiling and also windsurfing. But unfortunately, there's not much wind forecast over the next few days, so instead we're going to take the opportunity to see the city. Gdansk port captain, Gdansk port captain. This is the sailing vessel Florence. Sailing vessel Florence, over.
Florence base port control flying.
Good afternoon, sir. We are just outside the harbour entrance, requesting permission to enter the channel and enter for Gdansk Central Marina, please, over.
Yes, thank you. Question, what is your flag and how many persons on board?
We are a British flagged sailing vessel with 2 people on board, over.
Your last port of call?
Our last port of call is Hel Peninsula, Poland, over.
Yes, thank you. Welcome in Gdansk.
Entering the channels of the port, we are immediately introduced to the multi-layered history of the city. This monument marks the point of the first invasion of World War II, when a German battleship bombarded the Polish military depot here.
The Gdansk shipyard has huge historic significance in the post-World War II history of Eastern Europe. It's here where the first organised resistance to communist dictatorship began, with the strikes of the shipyard workers and the Solidarity movement. It was one of the first steps in the campaign of civil resistance that contributed to the collapse of communism across Eastern Europe.
The docks and shipyard are still active today, specialising in ship repair and modernisation. Passing close to these huge giants on Little Florence is especially impressive when they are unladen and so high out of the water, and sometimes it feels like there is not a lot of room to squeeze past.
Wow, we just about made it through the bridging time. It only opens for half an hour of each hour. So I was a bit nailing it on the throttles to get around to here, but now we come through here, we are into the centre of Gdansk, and the difference to the industrial area we've just come through with all the shipyards is amazing. That's beautiful. Very much looking forward to exploring around here.
Gdansk is an amazingly beautiful city, and we've been lucky enough to be able to park Florence right in the centre. You might just see the orange top of her staysail poking out of the mast in the marina there, and then just a really short walk away is the whole centre of Gdansk, and everything that we want to see today is within walking distance. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing a bit more of the city. Considering where we are, the cost of the marina isn't too bad. It's about £30 a night.
The port crane just by the marina entrance was built in the 1400s originally and was powered by human treadmills, with people walking around a treadmill to wind a bar which had a rope with a hook led over it. Of course, it was rebuilt after it all got burnt down in the Second World War, so this is a replica. But yeah, pretty cool that it was human powered.
Amber, which is also known as Baltic gold, can be found washed up on the beaches of Gdansk and Sopot, where it's been gathered and worked into jewellery for over 6,000 years. There's an entire street here dedicated to amber jewellery shops.
The city of Gdansk was one of the most powerful and prosperous members of the medieval Hanseatic League, a commercial and defensive network of merchant guilds and market towns which at its peak became an economic superpower, controlling the supply of essential goods across the Baltic and Europe. This brought huge wealth and prosperity to Gdansk, resulting in a legacy of historic brick Gothic architecture. Today, this makes Gdansk a tourist hotspot, and it's easy to see why.
A visit to the Gdansk Shipyard Museum is very worthwhile. The significance of Gdansk in the downfall of communism in Eastern Europe is explained really well, far better than we could do in a short video. If you travel to Gdansk, we recommend a visit.
Cheers!
So my friend B said one of the things we absolutely had to try in Poland is pierogi. And so we've come to a restaurant that specialises in it, and we've got a plate with a selection of different fillings to try. And this is the traditional boiled pierogi. And then something which is really popular here is some baked pierogi. And these look a bit like Cornish pasties, I guess. So I'm interested to try them. We've got everything in here from smoked cheese to I think there's some spicy beef and and cod, all sorts of different fillings. And we're washing it down with a Polish wheat beer, which is clearly going down very well.
Really good. It's like a minced pork, spicy Cornish pasty. It's excellent. Good to know. Right, shall we try a boiled one now? So I think this was the one that was cod. I'm just going to eat it. That's really nice.
That was delicious. We've saved 2 for tomorrow's lunch, but we were both surprised that our favourite was actually the traditional dumplings, and the absolute best one of those we thought was the cod fillet in a bechamel sauce with bacon and a black dough. Delicious.
Well, as you can see, we have come out of the city of Gdansk. It was an amazing time in there. We enjoyed being right in the middle of the city, but as you know, if you watch these videos, we are much more aligned with liking nature and liking to be at anchor. So it's beautiful to be able to come out and have these calm conditions, anchored just off the beach, be able to row in shorts and a t-shirt, and we have a summer. It has been so long the past couple of seasons, we really haven't had these conditions. It's glorious. It's 21 degrees on the boat. I think it's warmer out here. But yeah, this is a beautiful beach, and we're just anchored off the town of Sopot. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wander in. We've got a few Polish zloty left, so we're going to go and spend them on ice cream, which is always the best way to get rid of your leftover currency. And then we'll be all ready for Florence to sail on to Lithuania when the weather allows, because currently there is no wind, so it's a good excuse to stop and anchor off the beach.
It's pretty easy getting ashore in the Baltic because we don't have to carry the dinghy very far because there is no tide to worry about. So I don't think we even needed to carry her as far as we have.
Sopot boasts the longest wooden pier in Europe. We found out ashore that you need to pay for a ticket to walk along, but that wouldn't have left enough cash for an ice cream.
Sopot has a long history as a holiday resort and spa town, but its main attraction is the beach. It's so huge that if you're prepared to walk a little bit further, you can always find an uncrowded spot.
Next time,
We are leaving Poland and we're heading to Lithuania, but we have to pass Kaliningrad, or a Russian enclave, so we are sailing past Russia and a large Russian military base.
Well, that was all well and good, and I was feeling good until that warship changed course to be on a intercept course with us. But I don't really want to visit from a Russian warship, thank you very much.
For extra updates in between these bi-weekly videos, and to find out what we're up to in real time, head over to Patreon and join the crew.
continuing our voyage on Florence would not be possible without the support of our patrons. Thank you to all of you, and especially to our star patrons.